You are now listening to a proud member of the Disney Podcast family. Go to DizPodcastFamily.com to find more on this show and other great Disney podcasts.
All personnel, clear the launch platform. All personnel, clear launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to Leaving Today podcast, episode number 120. If you can't believe it, I can hardly ever believe it, but who knows. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, this afternoon, this morning. If you're on the commute, please drive safely. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the left of me is a special guest, friend of the show, and family member, Joey.
Hey.
Hey. Joey's got a multitude of podcasts out there, which I'm sure he'll tell you about.
Five Show Joe.
That
came out. That came out because we recorded for the Mando show, and then he dropped that this morning.
Yes.
Didn't fumble.
Did
Nope.
not fumble.
Nope.
Jess is currently on assignment, and she'll be back in episode 121.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other noise you hear, the other voice you hear to the right of me is the Trailmaster Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening. If this is your first show with us, welcome. We think you'll find the water to be warm. If you are a repeat customer, welcome home.
You're about to say repeat offender.
If you are a repeat offender, well, welcome home. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Halloween stuff. Since we're recording on November 1st, 2020, this is officially, I am guessing, the fourth quarter of 2020. If you're listening to this podcast in the future, Disneyland's still closed. Still closed for the majority of 2020, and we think it's going to be for the remainder of 2020. But we're not going to let that bring us down because there's still some good stuff out there to talk about. Tonight's opening question is, you guys know how they have like Bats Day and whatever all these unofficial days. If you guys were to come up with your own special day, what would it be?
LTP Day.
Oh, Udi. Okay, well, as you guys think about that, tonight's show, hold on. Tonight's show is sponsored by you Patreon listeners, so thank you so much for doing that. If you would like to support the show, go to leavingstaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, and we make it super simple, $1, $3, $5 pledges, and with that, you get to become part of the LTP family. We give you some cool swag. Joey, I know we owe you something, and you get to be on the show, come up with a topic, and that is that. If you feel inclined to leave us a review on Apple iTunes, we would very much appreciate it. Give us a rating, leave a little detail what you like about it, what you don't like about it, any ways we can improve. Also, if you want to be the cool kid at school or at work or at the mall and you want some LTP swag, go to tpublic.com, type in Leaving Today Podcast or Leaving Today, and you'll be taken to our storefront. Or you can do the same thing on leavingtodaypodcast.com. We have T-shirts there. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk. Joey, go first. I have an idea of what I think you're going to pick, but I'll only say it after you do it.
That's tough because, like you said, we already got Bats Day, which is kind of like the Gothic
Day, yeah.
We got Dapper Day. We got Tiki Day, Adventureland Day. So,
which, by the way, I'm envious and happy that you guys went to that last year. I saw the pictures and I was like,
Yeah.
do I even want to go to that? Let me just see what it's like. And I was living vicariously through the pictures you guys had, and I missed it. I went next time they have it.
Well, and it was such a fun time because we were there the Friday before, so we're just kind of hanging out. Then we run into the fellas from Backside of Water.
Yeah.
Then Adventureland Day happened, which was cool because we weren't able to run into them during the day. Then
Are they the ones that kind of started the whole thing?
No. This is run through a tiki site called Tiki Land Trading.
Okay.
They do a lot of markets and stuff, and they where a lot of tiki artists, vendors, and stuff do. And obviously they're local down in Southern California, so they do a lot of stuff. And so there was a tiki day at the park, and
Okay.
and that kind of fell through. The women that were running that for 7 years decided to stop running it. So then Tiki Land Trading, along with artist Tiki Tony and a couple other people, started their own Tiki Land Day. And then basically there's two different unofficial Tiki days now at the park.
Okay.
But but it was funny because then the day before we left, then we ran into Lynn from Sweep Spot.
Yes.
And so it was just a really cool podcaster meetup. And so going with that, I would say an unofficial day would be a Disney Podcaster Day.
Yep.
Ooh.
With fans of the podcast. And in the past, there has actually been unofficial. I think it was called West Fest.
Wasn't like Friends of the Magic or something like that?
Yeah, there's that with Paul Berry.
Yeah.
He kind of does little things. So.
Yeah.
But actually do like a full Disney podcast day would be cool. Listeners,
Okay.
and followers. That's all I can think of right now because there's a lot of cool ones out already.
Okay, so Podcaster Day. Okay, Udi, ever have an idea? See, I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to have like some sort of like, what?
Star Wars.
No, I thought you were going to do your own little like Jungle Cruise Day or something like that.
Yeah, I just have so much fun with Adventureland Day that it just they have it run perfectly in my opinion. So
Okay.
Well, Joe kind of went where I was thinking already.
Okay.
I'm like, oh yeah, Podcaster Day would be kind of cool. You get people who are fans and that podcast. That would be cool. I think that would be a fun day. And a good day to network and market and meet people. And
for sure.
Yeah.
like what if you guys noticed, like we got a lot of traction during Podcast Day that happened end of September. People tagging other podcasts and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's right. On social media, yeah.
Yeah, so to have something like a Podcast Day in association with that at the parks would be sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So now, so you guys are both saying a podcaster type of day. But could you? But see, the thing I was thinking, like, how would you dress for that? Because that's part of the thing is, these days people come in some sort of costume and they know that you're, you know what I mean.
So you would wear your podcast shirt or the shirt or something, and headphones, walking around the park with big old cans on your ears.
You guys don't have a hoodie out, do you, for the Disney Universe?
We've had some that we did for Celebration through TeePublic. It's a TeePublic stuff, nothing like official.
Oh, is it any good?
It was just our Celebration logo that we had during, and it was in Chicago, so
that's right.
It was really needed.
Yeah. Okay.
Or we could do a vest.
A vest. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say?
I have no idea.
I don't know. So I was gonna. There's already an official Star Wars Day.
Yep.
Or actually, it's unofficial, is it?
There's a number because we were at one that was at a Galaxy's Edge, a lightsaber day, or not a night.
Yeah, and it was more of an event, like
it was a coast to coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like
so
you were
yeah,
there that day, bring your saber, and then
so they had the groups of the green sabers get together, the blue sabers get together, and stuff. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We were right there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say, I thought it'd be kind of cool. See, I like the Dapper Days, even though I've never gone to it. But when people dress up nice and go to that, just show up there, which I think is kind of classy. And I thought, when I think about old school 50s Disney stuff, Disneyland stuff, that's what I think about. But it'd be nice if there was a celebration of, like, let's say Frontierland, where people would wear someone like Western garb or something like that.
Davy Crockett.
Yeah, Davy Crockett. with
Zorro.
Zorro. Yeah.
Little coonskin.
Coonskin cap.
Cap, yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun, and they would hang out in Frontierland and maybe
A
have
lot of
street.
yeehaw.
Not about that, but a lot of
Yeah.
like maybe like streetmosphere reenactments and things
Yeah,
like that.
all good.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
I mean, don't you remember when they had that?
Yeah.
So it's something like Frontierland Day, or
Yeah, that would be fun.
I might go to that. I mean, and next time this Tiki Day, or is that what's called, Tiki Day?
Yeah, so there's Tiki Day at the park, and that's usually the first weekend of October.
Okay.
Then there's the Tiki Land Day, which is the one that's organized by the folks that do Adventureland Day also, and that's usually at the end of April.
Ah, okay.
And it was supposed to be at like the last weekend of April this year. Then Adventureland Day is the beginning of March,
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
usually on a Sunday.
Usually on a Sunday. Okay. Well, I will be sure to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, and I've done Dapper Day once because I'm all about being comfortable at the parks, and dressing up and is not really my thing. But me and my friend did it once when we did. But a lot of Dapper Day now is Disney bounding Dapper.
Yeah.
And so you guys probably seen the pictures, but as me and my friend Christy, we went as Wally and Eve.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I
But
don't
it
think
was
I saw
warm.
that.
It was warm, so it lasted till about 2:30 in the afternoon.
And then what, you changed or something?
Well, yeah, because we became friends off Wally, but then it was also the day Pixar Fest started, and so I'm like, well,
gotcha.
and we went to go for Pixar Fest, and so it was like, I don't want to do Dapper Day, but if you wanted to do something Pixar themed, I wouldn't be opposed to doing it.
Gotcha.
So, and it was actually a lot of fun
Cool.
for a few hours.
I wouldn't mind doing a Dapper Day, like
Yeah.
full all the way to the nines. You know what I mean? I think it'd be cool.
There's a lot to consider about that.
I haven't done that. I haven't worn like a full suit and everything in so many years. I used to do it every weekend, and it was kind of like mandatory growing up. You go to church or whatever, and you have to have like slacks, shirt, tie, jacket, like
Pressed.
every weekend. And, growing up with it, you're kind of like, eh. But that gives me an affinity for it, and I'm like, that would be cool. I've always thought, like, if I could go on a Dapper Day or whatever and then come wingtip, full suit, double-breasted, bam, with a cap, with a hat, I'd be happy. I'd do it. I would do it. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
And I'd rock it all day. I don't care. I mean, the only thing that'd probably kill me would be my feet after a while, but I would rock it. I mean, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, the only thing that's like, it's always in the beginning of September or April, so it's like it's too warm to start dressing nice. But
if they did that in the fall,
yeah, I think a winter would be great. It was
winter, because I have the perfect coat for it too.
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do.
The one time I went to Club 33, it was to celebrate Walt's birthday, and it was dressed like Walt.
this guy here. Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how my brother went.
Yeah.
but that's
we're
fine.
not. Oh, yeah. Okay. right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm like, my brother's like, oh yeah, I went to club. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Before
Anyway.
we get any further in episode 120, quick shout out to Marcus, dude. Awesome meeting you
Oh yeah, dude.
last time almost 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And it was really a good evening for us. And
Yeah, hanging
really,
out. Yeah, we always we make the comment all the time that we love our listeners and our fans. We're super appreciative of everything, their time, their energy, their effort that they give us. It feeds us, and it gives us more of incentive and energy to continue doing what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, the last episode when a lot of people were thanking us for continuing going, and I kind of thought, and I found it kind of weird because I'm like, well, yeah. And then I guess maybe in my mind, I didn't think that there would be people like slowing down and going, okay, well, the park is closed and da-da-da-da. And then
Right.
I know we've all felt the drag of that, but I didn't realize that there may be other podcasters or shows out there that are like, well, we're going to be like not as often or current or whatever. And I'm kind of like, huh? And then like them bringing that up made me go, Oh, okay.
It's like, this is the time where, as a podcaster, buckle up and
Yeah,
You know.
like the way I felt through it all. I mean, yeah, you like Joe is saying, you buckle up, you strap in. You're like, we don't know what is going to go from here till freaking tomorrow, but we have to stay focused on what we want and what we like. And then I don't know. I guess I never even thought about not continuing or slowing down or changing format or whatever, and any kind of modification. And so anyway, so going back to it is, yeah, and it is because of people like him and the people we've all run across that we continue to go on.
Right.
So it is amazing. It was amazing to meet you, hang out, have some food and some beer and kind of talk. And dude, you're a great musician, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You really are.
Yep.
I like on your Instagram. You played. You have your posts and you're playing songs. I'm like, very cool, very very cool. Yeah, but yeah, great honor to meet you. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Absolutely, sir.
hopefully I can make the next one.
Yeah, you were supposed to be there,
Joe.
Joey.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You were getting beer. No, I mean, yeah.
I was doing it for the Mando show.
Yeah, you were.
Well-
He was working for the Manda show that night.
That's right. Yeah, he was on
Yeah.
his own thing. And
Yeah.
so sometime you want to be on the show, Marcus, just hit us
Yeah, man.
up. Yeah.
You know we're down, man.
We are down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, with all that, let's go to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
All right. So, first news item. It's going to be negative, the first news item. That's okay, because we're gonna come around and make it positive at the end.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. Like, we're going to go from bad, and then we'll go good.
Got some good news.
Yeah.
But got some bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad or bad.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to bring that up.
No.
Retro.
I miss that.
I know. Yep.
I keep on wanting to find a way to revitalize it. We're not going to be doing it anytime soon because we're not going to movies. But
Yeah, that's
man,
true.
One day.
And I can't get it a 6.
Yeah, and Joe King's like,
Joe, you
I
can't
can't
do it.
edit another one. I can't do
No.
it.
Okay, so we don't ever talk about Disney World because it's a Disneyland podcast, a West Coast show. But I thought it was important to bring up the fact that the entire cast of the Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review dinner show were laid off at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. And this is significant because they've been doing the show for 40 years over there. And so it says, after over 40 years of foot stomping fun at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, the extended closure of select shows at Walt Disney World has resulted in the entire cast of Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review to be laid off amidst the latest wave of layoffs affecting the domestic Disney Parks division. Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review opened as a permanent show on September 5th, 1974, and is regarded as one of the country's longest-running dinner shows. Mm-hmm. It is unknown whether the shows will go dark permanently, but we hope to see the return of these extremely talented performers to the parks very soon. And, okay, so it saddened me because I was planning to go this year, and I didn't go because of COVID-19, and we had other things going on. Mm-hmm. But this was one of the things I was going to go check out, and I would have gone. I would have already come and gone, so I would have been able to see this. But now, one cannot see this show, and it's just a stark reminder of where we are, and some of the. I don't want to go off on this tangent, but it's frustrating and sad for me to see what's happening.
Yeah, I keep on talking, I mean, off mic with a lot of people, and anybody who listens knows where I fall in the whole COVID-19 argument. And
yeah.
And the way I look at it, a story like this is why I always feel, or why I feel the way I feel. Mm-hmm. Because these are people who are now, they have been disenfranchised, if you want to even use that word. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but, they don't have a job. They've been made jobless. How does that, I mean, I think everybody who is a hardworking individual at one point in time has had that moment in life where you go, I don't have an income now. What do I do?
Right. Yep.
And anybody, and I think we've all around the table, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I know we've all been there.
Yep.
And we've all, all we did is strap up our boots a little bit tighter and figured it out.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because we can be empathetic to what now they have to deal with. And for me, that is a bigger tragedy with everything that we're dealing with. The death of anybody who dies from COVID or with COVID, is tragic. But look at the human condition is leaving behind, and how the cost is becoming higher and higher beyond death. And
right.
So I feel horrible, and I think, and I hope and I pray that a year, I really hope end of year, really, we're at a point where people can strap up their boots and we got to move on, and we can't keep on backpedaling. That's how I feel. We're being reactive, and stories like this highlight my feelings, and I empathize with them deeply. Yep. So I hope they're back. I hope, we get back to a point where Disney's rocking. Disney World is rocking. Everything is rocking. Mm-hmm. We're back to a point where we can get normalcy. And these people are working again and entertaining and just creating and being with family again.
Do you think the vibe is going to be the same when everything comes back?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's going to have their level of adjustment. Mm-hmm. When you go, you're going to have to learn how to deal with whatever caveat you're going to have to deal with, right?
Right.
But I think overall, the positivity of the park and everything, and the reason why the majority of people go mm-hmm. is for a positive feel. So I think the underlying current of positivity, hope, caring for people will never go away.
Right.
And that is why we hurt when we don't have the park. So when we go back, that is where we're all going to plug right back in. That is going to, I think, every park goer and fan and lover of the park will plug right back into that vibe. Mm-hmm. So we will have, who knows what we're going to have, have to wear a mask here, or you got to clean her, whatever, however it materializes.
Yeah.
The underlying current remains, and it will never change. That is why we all connect.
Yeah.
So it may feel weird, but I think it'll be part of it, part of everybody making an adjustment, and hopefully we get to a point where all these little mask and all those things kind of go back and go into the shadows and disappear.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Joe, you have a thought on that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, this really sucks. Everything, just them being let go, obviously for something that's not in their power. But when you guys mentioned, when Magical Map and Frozen, because the actors are different. Yeah. It's a different branch. But at the same time, you see, Broadway shows. Mm-hmm. Those people that have been doing those shows, year round, they're stopped. Mm-hmm. So, and once I got the news about Disney World and all the other shows that they're doing, like Udi was saying, we go to the parks for happiness. These people, these actors, these performers are one of the big key opponents mm-hmm. to our happiness and mm-hmm. enjoyment of the parks. And one thing that's different about Walt Disney World is this was not at the park. This is a resort show that's huge
mm-hmm.
at a hotel, or not a hotel, but like cabins and
mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And there's so many of these around all over the property of Walt Disney World. And if you've never been to Walt Disney World, think of it as the property is about the size of San Francisco. And so you got all these hotels and resorts. Each one has their own little special. Either like they had this show, which was, I'd never got to see it, but think of it kind of as a modern, not a modern, but still kind of like Golden Horseshoe,
right? Yeah.
Campfire, but since '74, I mean, that 45 years about, give or take, my math is kind of off. I just know I'm 42. So, but you got the Hawaiian, the luau, the Polynesian. You got all these other shows, and even the Streetmosphere people at Hollywood Studios, which is even more than what we have here at DCA. But I mean, all these people being let go is just really tragic, especially that they still got the parks open, but they can't perform in front of the people going to the parks for escape.
Yeah.
And so, like Udi said, hopefully, once people realize that, because we're all kind of in the same opinion, but like everything about COVID, tragic, it sucks, but you can still live with it. And giving up on everything just really sucks.
It does suck, yeah.
So,
yeah, you guys make an interesting point about the cast members bringing the magic, because even though I'm not a parade guy or show guy, and as far as I know, Udi, you aren't either. At least in my experience, you aren't. But that could always change. They do play. When that's not there.
Yeah,
and it's like when we were there last time, there was no parades going on, and it's like, oh, there's not any parades. It was weird,
odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
Like there aren't people lining up or sitting down. I'm like, why am I walking so smoothly through Main Street? I'm like, I feel weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I definitely noticed it, and it's one of those things that in fact, this morning Jess brought up a good thread, and about the guy. Was it a girl on the Jungle Cruise, a skipper?
Yeah.
And how they just a guy.
Yeah.
How, anyways, they were like reminiscing about how if they knew they were going to be cut off, let go, they would have spent more time just taking in everything. And then it sort of changed my mind. And I'll be on the first to admit that I wasn't going to go to the parks because it's like, you know what?
You've said it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I wasn't going to go because I was going to be too upset about, I just bought a house, right? And I'd rather just put my money towards that. But I miss the parks like crazy.
We were talking about that right before, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thought was like, I don't want to go if it's going to be in this condition. But this changed my mind a little bit because there's bigger things than me in this equation. And that's what I'm talking about. I want to go out there and support these cast members doing their thing. And
that thread and what she brought up was very real, and it made me reevaluate because that comment, the comment was pointed at me, and here I'm going to go into, I'm going to open up the door a little bit into our group tech threads that we talked about.
Don't open it too far, Rudy.
No, I won't go too far.
You got to be a patron.
Yeah, no.
That's the after our show.
Yeah, she pointed it right at me and goes, "But you said you wouldn't go."
Yeah.
And then, and she kind of said, she called me out, and she goes, "Would you, you got to support the CMs," and that is a perspective that she has, being an ex-CM, and I kind of went, and then I had that same thought as you. I'm like, for everything they give us, what can we do to give back? Yeah. I mean, and then we had I can't think of his name. It went away. But anyway, talking about supporting CMs in our last show. That would be...
Was that Seth?
No. The DJ.
Oh, Michael.
Mike. There we go. Sorry, Mike. And then, but what he did, and I'm like, okay, he goes above and beyond, and I'm like, that is fantastic. But then I'm like, what is the minimum I could do? Go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the minimum.
The minimum I can do is go. And then that way give them the reason to go to work. And I kind of went,
Well,
he's right.
Even when I was recording with you guys a couple weeks ago, Jess said something that just hit the nail on the head. Is she's like, for so many years, for so many of us, most of our lives, Disneyland's always been there for us. Now it's our time. It's our turn to be there for Disneyland, which means the cast members, everybody. So
the people who bring the magic, and so I think, I mean, the one thing we brought up last episode was we need to figure out a day where we can get everybody, and hopefully when the park opens, we can get a big group of people who listen to the show, and I think it'd be great. But I think the other thing, when we get that going, the other thing I want to do is I want to make it where we're here because we want to say thank you and give back. And I think that is one thing that is a great idea. And I think we need to do that because the love of the park comes from, like I said, hope and unity and family and all those wonderful things, but we can't forget the intangible thing that the museums give us, and we have to give it back and create that energy and that vibe that we all know and love, and we have to fight hard to regain it once we go back.
Right.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was good. That was supposed to be a quick one.
Yeah. Deep moments.
Deep
I'm
moment.
sorry. Yeah, I
That's
keep on
okay.
telling me we're going to run away from them.
And now
not go
deep
there.
thoughts from Leaving Today.
Dude.
I know, right? All right. So next story, we're gonna turn it around, and we're gonna turn that frown upside down, Eddie. And because Downtown Disney expands right into Disney California Adventure.
Go ahead, because I have my comment, but go for it, man.
You want to comment first?
My comment. Okay, let me do it real quick.
Sure.
I read it, and the biggest grin came over my face because you know what I felt like?
No.
Okay, I felt like that was Disney looking at the madness of the guidelines that I feel are the guidelines that were given, and basically going up to the government and being like, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
And I love, okay, I'm the type of guy, when you tell me you can't, I go, I like, I'm like, really? I like set my shoulders and I'm like, okay, let's see if I can.
Sure.
So when they did that, I felt like Disney, like, did that whole, like, Bruce Lee, like, set their feet in the ground and went, and then like, okay, yeah, let's go. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's the sound I heard.
yeah, and when they did that and I read that, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Made me feel good because I've been barking for a while, like, Disney, fight. Like, you can fight for the park and your business. You have to at this point.
You have to, yeah.
And they did that. I'm like, hell yeah. I love that. And not only because I like that area, and now I'm like, okay, maybe I do want to go down because now I'm like, Downtown Disney, I like, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to make this business trip all the way down for that. But now we have that. I'm like, oh yeah. And then that way I can, like, even though we talk about California and how it's different, but it is still Disney and it's still a park.
Sure.
And I think that would be great to go down, walk down the street, and now I'm thinking to myself, Main Street.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Main Street's coming. And when they do that, book the flight. We're rolling, buddy. We're rolling. We're going.
And then they can run the railroad around.
Ho, 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 ho.
I know, right?
Woo.
Imagine going around an empty park. I would love that.
Okay, that would be great. I mean, it would be sad but great because you think about, you follow the track line in your head, right? And you're coming along and, like, think about everything you'll see. Yeah. And I would love, I mean, for me, that thing, I mean, when you're coming around the back end now and you're going around, the river, and you're like, oh, I love all the cinematics that I have, but I'm like, I would love seeing that, and just put the Columbia over here or the Mark Twain over here, and I'd be like, I would be sitting on the train with my arms wide open, going, thank you.
Put like a live band on the Mark Twain or something.
Yeah, they could just dock the Mark Twain by where the train comes around the bend, and just like every time, just woo, woo.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, there are things that people, anything to help bring that, like I said, bring that positive energy back, and like I was just saying, entering in would be a massive, like, you would feel that build, and then we could go like, okay, we're going to be here, step one, and we're going to keep on moving forward.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I'll read the quick news article here. With the reopening of Disneyland and Disney California Adventures stymied by newly released guidelines from the state of California, the Disneyland Resort has decided to take a page from other local theme parks to open a portion of Disney California Adventure for shopping and dining only. Starting in November, the exact date has not been released, Disney fans will be able to dine and shop at select Buena Vista Street locations. The lineup announced by Disney Parks blog today, that was actually last week, includes retail stores, quick service foods, and even table service restaurants. Retail, Elias & Company, Julius Katz & Sons, Kingswell Camera Shop, and Trolley Treats.
Yeah, all the one right there. Yeah.
Yep. Quick service dining is Smoke Jumper's Grill, Fiddler.
Frozen jacket.
Oh
Yeah,
my God! I
yes.
want to run around like a happy man right now.
Yeah, Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe. I don't even know what the. Oh, that's where-
Starbucks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And there's an ice cream shop right next to it. Okay, Clarabelle's. Yeah, okay. Outdoor vending carts with popcorn, churros, and more.
Yep.
Awesome. And then table services, Carthay Circle Lounge with an expanded outdoor seating area featuring all new menu for cocktails and dining. Love it.
Bro, okay. Real quick, I want to cut in.
Yeah,
Main Street opens. We're going.
that's what the word is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The announcement opens up a realm of possibilities for theme park fans, including the availability of collectible popcorn buckets and souvenir cups that have not been available in downtown Disney. The chance to enjoy holiday decor inside a Disney theme park, and even, dare we hope, a chance that Disney's freshly made candy canes could serve. I don't care about that. There are definitely some logistical questions to be answered, and we've reached out to Disney for updates. We haven't, but the author did. We don't know whether they're going to continue to limit parking to the simple lot, which now serves downtown Disney, or another
Probably.
ground lot, or even the Mickey and Friends structure might be opened for additional visitors. We also don't know whether Disney will have a separate entrance queue for those wishing to enter Disney California Adventure, or if there will be some sort of timed entry system. We don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah.
I do know that the going into Buena-Vista Street, they're not going to. I think they have to do it to get out of the theme park thing. It's going to be via stage 17. So they're not going to go through the front gate, right? It's going to be like an extension of downtown Disney.
Yeah.
So that's how they're getting around this. But I've also heard that it's going to be open Buena Vista Street up to Grizzly River Run area, or Grizzly Flat. What do they call that area? Grizzly Flats? No, it was Condor Flats.
It's Condor
before.
Flats. It's still
What is it?
Grizzly River, or
What is it, dude?
it's like a national forest, but it's like I think it's still Grizzly River, Grizzly Peak.
Grizzly
Peak.
I think it's Grizzly Peak.
Yeah. So up to that point, and then all the way down to where Monsters Inc. is, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because you can open up if they're doing smoke jumpers to the if you're walking towards Carthay.
Here we go to the right.
You go to the right, but then they can also open the left. You still got award wieners. You got to stand there, and I believe a couple carts before you get to the actual backlot area.
Yep.
Yeah, when this was announced, I was actually driving down for we were going downtown Disney in Knott's Berry Farm, but so we saw this with like figures. It says beginning of November. I'm like
right now.
Of course, it can't happen this weekend.
Sure.
But when we were there, they were already decorating for Christmas. So, and my guess would be the Veterans Day weekend is always the official start of Christmas season at Disneyland Resort.
Right.
And I would think around that time, because their Christmas decorations going up and look like they're working quick.
Okay. Did they have a tree up on Buena Vista?
You couldn't tell because it's to the
It's to the
left.
left. Yes, yes.
That little area. But I could see them either using that one entrance through there, or like you said, when we went, because we did go to stage 17, and just that little around the bout way to get there.
Yeah.
And they could traffic people through there, controlled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was super excited because at first, friends were like, "Oh, that kind of sucks. It's not Main Street like we were kind of hoping."
Right.
I'm like, "Well, you could do it here because that little area behind Carthay, once you start going towards the pier, you walk, giant waterfall and everything.
Yeah.
That's actually the start of the Festival of Foods, Food and Wine.
Yeah.
And they can not do it full scale, but they can actually do a scaled down version.
They could block that back end off and then make it like a little kind of a nook or however you want to put it. Yeah.
Like a food court type of thing.
Yeah.
And plus, they'll make more money if they sell alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Which, to me, that was a key.
Yep.
Sure.
That's why they're doing it at Buena Vista Street or DCA, because you can sell adult beverages.
Right.
And there's just extra money because you make more on that than Cokes and Sprite.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm totally for
It's
this.
baby steps, but like Udi said, it's, your guidelines are
the rubbish.
incredibly, they're stupid. And, it's just an insult. It's an insult.
Yeah, nearly unattainable.
By design.
Yeah.
There's no
There is no way you can.
Right.
Oh no! Well, no. You read them. You know that when you read them and you know what they mean, you're like, no, you don't want to open.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I'll tell you, like you guys were saying, just being able to walk around Disneyland, would be so sweet and everything.
would be.
I haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm since I was about 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
And we went for the Taste of Halloween.
That place-
and we had the whole park.
Yeah.
Minus the rides, but you're walking through the entire park, and just being in a theme park, was amazing.
Yep.
And I mean, then tie in Buena Vista Street, which, I might be I go over the limb here, but I love Buena Vista Street around Christmas because it reminds me of the Christmas Story. You're there in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh, yeah.
They got the old Dean Martin, Louis Armstrong Christmas songs playing.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, Buena Vista Street on Christmas and Main Street, it's all good stuff. Downtown Disney at Christmas, it's all good. We took the girls to Knott's Berry Farm years ago, and man, I love Knott's Berry Farm. I should say I love about 80% of it. The other 20%, I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
but
I was lost.
The 80% of it was like, this is really good, and I want to go back there. Next time I go down there, I definitely want to stop in. Yeah, I'm just stoked. Months and months ago, I was saying that they need to open Downtown Disney, then DCA, and I did say that, and then see how it works, and then open it.
They're following what you had. Like, if they do that, then they can do that.
Yeah.
If they do that, they can do that. Now you had a three-part plan.
Yep, they're on part 2.
We're down part 2.
Yeah, and I think before they open at Main Street, they need to see how it all works on Buena Vista, see how people act and whatnot. But this is great.
Yeah.
And it just, now I think about, just my own self, how stupid I feel when I complained like years ago about, I didn't even want to hang out with DCA anymore. And now it's like, wait a minute, it's been gone for 8 months. I really want to go. And it makes me appreciate the cast members and the magic they bring more once it's not there.
Well, I think we all got to a point at some level, even though we connect with the park, when we have it readily available. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, we're all AP holders at the table.
Yeah.
And we all have that moment. I'm like, I can't go now. I'll go next week or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or even if I was a local, I mean, I can imagine if I lived in SoCal, I'd be like, Now that has been removed, then it brings into sharp perspective what we have at one level taken for granted. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, even that part of being an AP, like, and I was telling you about it when you got yours, and when you get it, it's like, I didn't see this show this time. I'll get it next time.
Yeah.
Or I didn't ride this attraction this time.
You have that. It kicks.
I'll get a
into
churro next visit.
Yeah. It kicks into your brain like, okay, well, I have that like power to be like, okay, I'm going to come in here. And you don't. You can. The way you plan is a completely different animal from when you're an AP holder and when you're not. Mm-hmm. And when you're an AP holder, the reins of how tight you have to hold the reins to get everything in is not nearly the same.
Yeah.
Like Joe, like, okay, well, I didn't get into Soarin'. I'll be back. Right. Now we're like, I didn't get into Soarin'.
And now it's a Soarin' over the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right on. So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully they open it soon. But I think you might be right. What is that, the 11th or something?
Yeah.
Veterans Day, around that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is only good news, I think.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yep.
It is positive movement.
Positive movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be, I'm just saying, the weekend of the 13th or 14th of November.
Okay.
And that's just a guess.
Okay. If not sooner.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Are we ready for the next story yet?
No, I was just saying,
Okay.
hopefully they can hire some cast members back for this and start bringing them back. Yeah.
I hope, man.
Yeah.
They need to work, man.
They need to work.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're at this table. We realize how lucky we are.
Oh, I know. We are.
Yeah.
Beyond lucky. Okay.
Yep.
So what are you going to say?
I'm going to play the role of Jess for the next story.
Oh, okay. So the next story is new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge limited release Dejaric. What is that? Jumbo pin?
Dejaric, yeah.
Yeah, Dejaric jumbo pin, oldest Cantina coaster pin set, and more arrive at Disneyland Resort.
Will you look at the size of that pin? That is dumb.
Okay,
Like, I mean,
we haven't
dumb,
got there yet.
Yeah, I'm not dumb in the negative. Like, oh my god, that's dumb.
So the first thing we see is a youth T-shirt for $25. Passing on that. Limited release.
Yeah. Oh, I would
What is
get
that?
I would buy that for my
That's
nephew.
the chess table on the Millennium
the
Falcon.
Jarek.
The Zark. That's
yeah.
a pin though.
Yeah.
It's $60.
It's as big as your hand.
That's oh my gosh!
What are
I
you
see
gonna
that
put
right
that?
now.
Why do you think I said it's dumb? I mean it's cool, and you're like, but what am
Where are you gonna put that?
I don't know.
You know,
Okay.
it reminds me of those like Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
like does a spin.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be going, yeah, boy. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Limited release. Holo chest. There's our jumbo pin. Oh, we got that.
It is cool.
And then Galaxy's Edge Skyline pin, $12.99.
Yep.
Are you a pin guy?
Sometimes I'm not a pin trader, but if I see a pin that I really like, I'll collect it.
What kind of pin speaks to you? Just curious.
Of course, and this was before Disney bought Star Wars, but anytime they had a Star Wars themed pin, a mashup, Jedi Mickey or
Yeah.
whatever, I have, Mickey in a Tron outfit. My favorite teams when they used to do the sports team,
Yeah.
then I love Pirates pins. I can't even keep track now of the Haunted Mansion pins.
Oh, okay.
But anything with Genie, Jessica Rabbit. I mean, just
Okay. So do you go out and collect those specifically there? Or is there anything that you actually collect specifically?
sometimes, like they would have. I used to be even a member of a Chase Bank. So
Yeah.
if you go to Off the Page or the Emporium, you'd have a special pin that only Chase members could get.
Yeah.
So I'd get some of those, but and some of the limited ones, like on Walt Disney's birthday, they had certain ones that was like a stained glass window with his face on it.
Oh.
So anytime you see like a Walt pin too.
Okay.
But these Galaxy's Edge pins, everything I've seen is just like, ooh, I like that, I like that, I like that, and it's that skyline of it looks amazing.
This one here for $13.
I would easily get that.
Okay. Do you display them or do you wear them, or what do you do with them?
So
I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
I know what one does with a pin, but what do you do with it?
I have a binder with a I call it like pin pages.
Yeah.
And I just trying to categorize them that way.
Oh, okay.
And I need to display them better.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of the lanyards, only because, like I said, I like to be comfortable at the park, and to me, it's too bulky around my neck walking around the park, especially if it's hot.
Oh.
But that's just a me thing.
Yeah.
But I usually display them like in a binder. I just need to get a better binder now.
Okay, gotcha. So what do you think about Oga's Cantina coaster pin set for $28?
I'd rather have the coasters after having a drink.
Yeah, there you go. I still need to go there. I haven't been in there.
I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Okay. So those are the pins. Yeah.
No, I think they're and we've talked about this. They're doing too many stuff outside of Galaxy's Edge, but I get it because it's not open.
Right.
But when it really opened, the first obviously the first couple months, a lot of this merchandise was like Batu stuff, and now it's kind of getting what they said they weren't going to do, which was going to be these traditional, like that says Star Wars. I mean, of course they had the opening. I think they should have had, which they did, like the opening day pins, the
t-shirt.
commemorative pins.
Yeah.
But now these just regular Disneyland pins that represent Galaxy's Edge is kind of...
Well, what I'm hoping that they won't be there.
Yeah.
I mean, now we can't hold anything to account because of where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And you give them a little bit of a pass, but I will...
But that's what I say, I get it.
Yeah, when we get back... And I walk in, if I see them, I'll be like, bro.
But saying that is a beautiful pin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just not a pin guy, but that's okay. But I enjoy people that have them and they get whatever.
Yeah, the only pin I've gotten a couple. My coin, my Pirates coin, I've got that.
Yeah.
I bought one. I've been given one. The only other pin I think I bought was that I got a reward pin, one of those ones when you play on the game, and you can go buy a pin. And I bought one. I gave it to. It was a drop pin for Rise of the Resistance. It has the drop ship, and that you have to go through a bunch of things to get that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that's when I gave it 13. I'm like, here, I know you like pins, and here's one you would never get because you won't do that. I'm like, but here you go.
Was that through the data pad thing?
Yeah.
Or?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even cashed in any points on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
you can
Now.
do- yeah. Well, now I know, but that is what. And I mean, other than that, I don't think I've got. I've gotten pins given to me, but nothing that I think I've ever bought.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have a couple that were given to me,
Yeah,
too. I
yeah.
just don't know what to do with them.
I keep them. I have mine in one little spot where I have I have a few different things that have been given to me for the park. They're sitting right there until I finally get my hanging shelves where they'll go.
Oh, okay,
But
yeah.
yeah.
But, okay. Well, that was the news for this evening. Hopefully it wasn't too down. I think it was mostly up.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly up. And then, okay. Anything else you guys want to add to that news? Nothing?
I haven't heard anything.
Nothing. We're just waiting on bated breath for DCA to open up Buena Vista
Yeah,
and Grizzly Flat.
that
or
will
Grizzly
be
Peak.
that will be great.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm going to be very curious about how they handle everything because I think we can all tell this is going to be the blueprint probably for getting onto Main Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So we'll move on to the talk about Halloween stuff, and Joey's going to share his story about his
Favorite trip.
Yeah. But I did something. So I'm going to play a quick game since Jess is not here. Jess is really good at the game stuff. But I uploaded every attraction at Disneyland and DCA into a randomizer, and we are going to take the top 3 and do keep one, ditch one, or improve one.
Okay.
Okay. So there are 51 attractions, and I'm going to randomize them. The top 3. Oh God, this is hard, and I'm not lying. The top 3.
What is it? Keep one, lose one, and fix one?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm going to do the top 3 here. And Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, Smuggler's Run, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. This is not easy, but it's all fun. LTP family out there, if you're listening, what do you think? Keep, improve, or ditch one? And in the improvement, you got to say what it is. So we're dealing with Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, and Marcy would be very upset with you if you called it the Tiki Room. So this is just a little pro tip if you're out with your friends, or hey, you guys like the Tiki Room?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Say Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room.
All right.
Okay.
I've
Smuggler's Run.
I've got mine.
And Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. We're keeping one. We're throwing one away, and we are improving one.
I've got mine.
Okay, Udi, you want to lead it off?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Keep
Yes.
Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room.
Okay.
Keep it. Don't need to improve it. Don't need to do anything to it.
Okay.
Keep it. Okay. It is a iconic gem, and no.
Yeah.
Improve. Mission Breakout.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I think for the only thing you can do, the only thing I think you could do to improve it is maybe expand the music, maybe make more of a, I know when they do the Halloween edition, they kind of like make it a little bit more random and keep that random flowing and then change the show and then I think it'd be great if they did you're there to break them out, but then change how you break them out in the sequence, and so it's not like, you follow the story. It would be cool if, like, okay, I jump in that one, and I'm going to get that story, maybe that. So they mix the music, but I think it would be good if they actually mix the video and audio portion. Now, Smuggler's Run.
Yes.
The only reason I say get rid of it, because then I'd be like, okay, well, you can get rid of it and then replace it with something better.
Yes.
I love that attraction. It's the Falcon for the love of God, but you can keep the Falcon.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask.
You keep the Falcon, and then you could. I don't know what you would do to replace it, but yeah.
Yeah.
The Falcon is there. You will never ever take that away from there.
No.
And the attraction, for as fun it is a simulator.
Yeah.
End of day.
End of day.
Isn't Rise? Rise, we're not going to talk about it because so many people have not had the opportunity. Now even more lucky. 7 times riding it. 7. Anyway, But yeah.
No comments from us.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Joey.
Okay, so first of all, I want to agree with everything, but
I
you
know.
cannot touch Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. And
What about people that are on change.org that say that it needs to get taken out because it's offensive?
I think Joey's going to pull a Jay and Silent Bob and get their readout and be like, did you post?
are you
on-"
Magnolia fan
Yeah.
32?
And then and you said they need to burn that down because it's old? And then you slap the crap out of them.
slap.
Yeah.
So keep it. I mean, like I've mentioned on this show a couple times. I've mentioned on my shows is like that's one of the few places, even less than a handful of places around any Disney park around the world, you can actually point to a spot on the ground, spot in the area of the building, and say Walt Disney stood right there.
Yeah.
There's photos of it everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
Right under Jose. Famous photos. So do not touch it. And that's going to stay. Agree. Fix. I love Mission Breakout. Since they announced, the change of Tower of Terror to Mission Breakout, I was on board since day one. Mm-hmm. Big fan of both Guardians movies. And so to improve it, like Udi says, change up the story a little bit, different ways that they escape. Now we're entering phase 4 of the MCU, so you can totally update, and they've done it already a couple times. They added the 3 little weasel-looking creatures into the queue line that were in Guardians 2. So you could change the display case creatures. You can add now a lot more from phases 2 and 3 into the library, the showroom, and change the music. I mean, we get 6 awesome classic rock songs, and there's a lot more than 6.
Yeah. Yep.
So and then the randomness of when they changed it to Halloween. The Monsters After Dark, and it's still in story, which is awesome. That's a big key of it. It's still in story from the original daytime attraction. And so I love now. So get rid, and of course, I'm only saying this because we got to choose one. But get rid of Smuggler's Run. You guys all know I'm a huge fan of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, in fact, he's wearing a T-shirt that says Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's what it says, and there's a picture of it. Okay.
And as long as the Falcon that we see in its beautiful, joyous glory stays, I'm happy. Even if that doesn't become an attraction, a new attraction, because does that land? I mean, we get the 2 attractions. We got Smuggler's Run and Rise, and Rise is so amazing. Make that the inside of that somehow the sit-down dining experience that we were expecting originally. The dinner show with the dancers, the bands, the full, Blue Bayou style, $60, $70 a plate. I don't care. Make it that sit-down, and it's going to be an experience, not just a good dinner. It'll be a dinner and a show. It'll be a Star Wars luau. So it'll be worth the price in admission, and that's what I would do.
Awesome. Solid answers from you two. Yeah, this one's hard, and I think we're going to continue this little game at some point, and maybe the next. It's just kind of fun because there's all kinds of ideas and this one here. But I'm going to almost say the same thing, and I hate to be boring or redundant, but Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, we've got to keep it. You can't. I mean, you could maybe change it, but you got to keep it the way it is, and I don't think that thing needs to change with the times whatsoever. You guys think it does?
No, and Florida tried it. When I first went there 10 years ago, they actually had it where they tried to update it, and they added Iago and Zazu to it, and it was called the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management. And so it starts off traditionally like it normally does. Then like Iago comes out like, "Oh, you birds, you guys are old. You need to learn to be hip and stuff." And it was terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, so it didn't last very long, and now it's back to the original.
Okay, gotcha. I'm going to keep Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. I am going to update Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout for all the reasons you're talking about. I mean, it's for Halloween, the whole Halloween. it can be amplified and it could be scary. They could do more of the monsters after dark stuff, which was absolutely a different experience when you're doing that. They can definitely add more characters in and out of there like they've done already. Other than that, I don't know any other holiday overlays that it would lend itself to. It's not a Christmas thing. Halloween seems to be right where it is at home with that. So maybe just from the whole fall season, it could be this Monsters After Dark stuff. And I mean, that's how I guess I would improve it. I think it's pretty awesome as it is. And then Smuggler's Run. Yeah, as Udi says, at the end of the day, it's a simulator. I'm not a simulator guy. It's not my cup of tea. I went on it once, and I honestly don't need to do it again. But the Millennium Falcon is such an important character in Star Wars that you need to have that represented. So taking it out, but it needs to be replaced with something. And I know we're kind of going off thread here because that wasn't the question. Because you can't just gut it and remove it. But you can, as you said, maybe make it a restaurant sort of thing. Although I understand the appeal that a lot of people want to pilot the Millennium Falcon and do their stuff. But there's got to be some other way. Yeah, that would be the attraction that I would shut down and hopefully do something else with it. Totally as a side note, there's a podcaster, Adventures in Design. You guys know the guy is Mark Bricky.
Sounds familiar.
So he posted something about, in fact, it was something we were talking about the last episode about the Fantasyland Theater. And, because he was on the same thread that we were talking about was, they're doing this. Maybe they're going to use that land for something else. And he wanted to know what you guys thought. And he had an aerial map of it. And his idea was that if you look from the aerial view of it, it's not so far away from Galaxy's Edge. And he said that if you were to go to the very end of Galaxy's Edge where the First Order sits, they've got those two big doors. You could create like a tunnel that goes over there through rocks and then ends up in this Fantasyland Theater area. And that could be an attraction because he goes, so you've got the Rise of the Resistance on one end, and those guys are represented. You've got Smuggler's Run, which is more a resistance neutral type of thing.
Yeah.
But you've got nothing from the I was going to say the Imperials, but the First Order represented. And he said, why isn't their story told? And I'm thinking, why isn't their story told?
Because they're bad guys.
They're bad guys. Yeah. But how cool would that be to have something built in over there that you got to experience? but then again, would you sacrifice that land for that, or would you rather have it for something Fantasyland-esque?
I would go Fantasyland.
I would too.
I would be a Fantasyland expansion.
Yeah, me absolutely.
Because, Rise of the Resistance is Rise of the Resistance, but it's really heavily First Order, too.
Is it? Do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, no, hold on. Gosh, I'm sorry. I totally, what you said and how I interpreted was not correct. I thought you said Galaxy's Edge was whole.
Oh, no.
No. Right, yes, Rise of the Resistance you're right.
And I know it's on their side, and it's named, Rise of the Resistance, but it is very heavily First Order themed.
Yes, you're 100% right.
So, I would take the Fantasyland Theater and do some kind of expansion.
Starbucks? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something, right?
Yeah.
The one from Shrek, was it the Fairyland of Far, Far Away Starbucks or something?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. No, but something like Seven Dwarfs Mine Coast or something like that. I don't know. I think that'd be great out there. But anyways, no, you're definitely right. Rise of the Resistance is definitely First Order based, and wow, what a spectacular thing that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of that game.
That was fun. That's tough because
it is tough.
I don't want to see anything happen to either one of those.
No,
I know.
But if we were to do it again, the top three would be Star Tours, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, and Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. That actually is interesting too.
Not for me. I know it already.
I would say two of those can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casey Jr.'s untouchable for me.
Oh, no, you can improve that. Bigger cages.
Oh.
Mark would know.
Yeah, why do I get put in the cage? I'm like, dude, why am I in the cage? But anyways, that would be the next three if we were to do that. Okay. All right, so now let's go to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, Joey. So you did not send in an email or a voice message last time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
had
okay.
all intentions of.
Fail.
But luckily, we have the privilege of summoning you whenever we need to. and you know what, Joey? I'm going to say that right now. I do appreciate you being able to come in whenever we need you to come in and do stuff.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I was happy to join you guys.
You are our designated hitter / pinch hitter for the LTP. We call you in. We bring you up from the well, wherever you are. I was going to say we bring it from the farm league, but that's not accurate. You're on the bench.
I would go like a different league, like AL, NL. Like we don't see you, but we know we're all playing the same game.
Yeah.
And then occasionally we'll be like, hey, we need to pull them over.
And we know how to find you.
It's like soccer. It's like soccer on loan.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly right.
There you go.
But you are not regulated or relegated. Yeah, that's the term.
No relegation.
Yeah, no relegation. Do you get Apple TV, by the way?
I do not know.
Okay. I was going to go off on something. But anyways, so Joey, why don't you talk about one of your favorite trips?
Okay, so as so many of your guys' the listeners mentioned, it is super hard. Ooh, Butterfinger.
Yeah.
To point out one, and so one thing I'm going to point out, this one's for the older age of folks.
This one's for the ladies out there. That's where I thought you were going. I'm like, oh, okay.
But this is for us older fans. This year, we all know we're supposed to celebrate Disneyland's 65th anniversary. So this one's going back 30 years ago to Disneyland's 35th anniversary. And this was a trip that I still remember to this day. And it's funny because even going back to Downtown Disney, they're selling 30th anniversary and 35th anniversary T-shirts.
They are?
Yeah, in the retro section. And I sent it to my sister, and they're like kind of like mid-drift cut, shirts. She's like, yeah, people that were around the parks around those days shouldn't wear a shirt with got the midriff cut off.
I was at the 1985.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, would be 30 years?
30 years.
And the 35th would have been 90. I was not at that.
Yeah, so I was at both.
Ooh,
barely remember 30th, but I remember the 35th. And so this was the anniversary where, and we were actually there on July 17th, 1990. And so we saw they had a little booth. Art Linkletter was there and doing something for the radio.
Nice.
And, if you don't know, he was the original host for the opening at Disneyland back in 1955. So it was cool seeing him there. But this was one of the coolest parades that they had, and it was like a Mardi Gras parade.
Oh.
They had these giant balloons, floats. So they had like Mickey, Mickey, Goofy, Pluto, and Minnie. And it was really cool, like Mardi Gras themed parade. And this was, I think, the first time I remember that in the middle of the parade, they did a conga line and pulled people from the crowd.
Oh.
And so doing a conga around the floats on Main Street. And so, of course, me and my sister did that. And we were like, dude, this is, so cool. We're in a Disneyland parade. And they're throwing, throwing beads and stuff. It was really cool.
Nice.
We have it on video somewhere. And also this trip was, this was the summer, I believe, that Dick Tracy came out.
Oh.
And it might have been this summer or the one before, but they had a Dick Tracy stage show at Fantasyland Theater. And again, this was one of the best. I think I enjoyed the stage show more than the movie. And so that was really cool. It was a total Broadway style, and it was super awesome.
Wasn't that like the Videopolis-esque time? Yeah? Okay.
So
yeah, I remember that.
I think they still had. I think it might have been gone by now.
Okay,
but I'll just always remember that because it was Disneyland's birthday.
Wow,
the parade was awesome. The Dick Tracy show was awesome. Then of course just being at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
yeah, of course. So that was one of the most memorable times. Then one thing I had to talk about was I'll try to make this really short.
You don't have to,
but one of the messages you got was from our friend Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned the Fantasmic that we did with John Stamos.
Yes.
So I messaged him. I'm like, dude, that was a great memory, but you missed so much. So
was he drunk?
No, okay. Not at all. We were Disney drunk.
Okay.
So basically, I'm just going to kind of expand on the story a little bit, and this happened the last day of D23 2017, and so it was a Sunday, and we were at the parks, and we had just a bunch of friends, local friends, and we're all kind of spread out, and so it was the last day, and he was not at D23, and so me and my friend Christy, we were doing around the expo, and the last thing we saw was Alan Menken one-man show. And so he's just playing the piano, doing all his music from the history of all the Disney movies, Little Shop of Horrors, Newsies, and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool. So then we were supposed to fly out that night, but they were like, we got a couple hours. What do APs do? They go to the park for as long as they can.
Yes.
So we're in line. I forget what attraction at the time, but Jacob's like, dude, I got a hotel. Why don't you just, you guys crash with us and change your flight? I'm like, I don't know. Okay, let's do it. So we changed our flight. All right, we're staying here. And then we started doing, we're at DCA. I think we're in, anyways. So after we decided to stay, we get in line for Guardians, because this was a summer Guardians Open, so we wanted to ride it as much as we could. And so we're just chattering through the line, and some guy, I don't know if he was like eavesdropping or something, but he liked whatever our conversation was, and he was like, you hope you guys are having a good weekend. Here you go. Gave us all pins, and they had like some kind of card, and like I don't know if it was like Bible verse or something, but he actually had official Disney pins. And Jacob's a pin collector. He's a big time Disney collector. So he's like, oh my God, this pin hasn't been, they're actually collector item pins. So I'm like, well, here, you let us stay at, that was kind of cool. So we got this, free collectible pin. One was from like the 40th anniversary of Disneyland. So anyway, so then after we ride Mission Breakout, we're like, let's go check Fantasmic. Or, I know because I had a fast pass to watch it the night before because of the Disney Parks panel. So anyways, we go over there, and it is packed. And we're like, okay, there's no way we're going to be able to see anything. So let's, go on Pirates. And I'm like, I just want to listen to the music, but oh, well, whatever. So we get on Pirates, do that, and then get out of Pirates. And again, I'm like, I just want to listen to the new Fantasmic music, and it's good. But then, we get out, and somebody has to use the restrooms. We're like, all right, go ahead. In New Orleans Square, we'll hang out here. Then I'm like, we're going to hang out by Club 33 because, again, it's D23 weekend. There's probably some celebrities up there. So we're waiting, and right when I think it was Jacob, he comes back, the door opens, Alan Menken walks out. And he's like, you sure it's him? Like, yeah, we just saw him a couple hours ago. We know what he looks like. It's him. So we're trying to wait for a picture, but he goes off towards the tracks or something. So we're like, oh, that's cool. All right, so what do we do now? Okay, let's go to Haunted Mansion. So the door opens again. Out walks Tony Baxter with John Stamos.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And we're like, oh, my God. Then they walk towards us, so we kind of like, hey, what's up, guys? And I think somebody fist bumped John Stamos or something. So we're like, oh, that's so cool. Love this. So we're like, okay, let's finally go Haunted Mansion. And so we start walking there. And we get past the part where people are, the wands are waving. And they're like, can't stand here. We're past those guys. We're close to the mansion. I'm like, you know what, guys? I know we won't be able to see nothing here, but can we just listen to it? Yeah, I just want to listen to Fantasmic. Okay, that's cool. And I said, right when it's over, shoot right to the entrance of Mansion.
Yes.
So we're leaning against the grate by the water fountain, and like he mentioned, there's a cast member sees us. It's the three of us and a young girl and her mom, but we're kind of standing together. So she's like, how many...
Oh, wait a minute. So Fantasmic has not started yet?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
And this is the premiere of the brand new Fantasmic that
gotcha.
Everybody that was at D23 that got a fast pass for.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah. And so, cast member comes up, and I thought she was like, oh, you guys can't stand there? One of those kind of things. And so she's like, how many are you? And like, oh, just us three. And then she's like, oh, they're not with you? I'm like, oh, no. But she's like, okay. Well, all you guys, follow me. So we're like, all right, that's cool. And it walks us behind the churro cart and stuff. And then all of a sudden we see the seats and stuff. She's like, all right, enjoy the show. And this was like less than 5 minutes before the show was about to start.
Oh, yeah.
So like, oh my gosh, this is super. We're in the VIP section of Fantasmic and stuff. And so we're all giddy and excited. Then it starts. The show.
Of course, other people are watching you and they're like, who are these guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
so we're all super excited.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is one of those. And me and Nudie talk about this all the time. These are magic moments, magic memories that cast members do. Even as Derek was like, "What is that?" Like, no, it's a thing.
It is a thing.
And so this was our the show's about to end. We're like, we got to get a picture with that CM because that was so amazing and stuff. And so we get a picture with her, and then the other CM that takes a picture, like Jacob mentions, like, did you know John Stamos was sitting behind you guys? And we're like, oh yeah, we already saw him walk out of Club 33. We wanted to see the cast member that let us in.
Old news.
So that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just in the little cherry on the top was on the way out after we watched Went on Mansion. A lot of times we end the day with Jungle Cruise.
Ooh.
And on the boat of Jungle Cruise was we saw him through Club 33, but was Robin Lopez. He was a basketball player. But I recognized him from when I played when I lived in Portland. But he played there. But he was on our Jungle Cruise boat.
I don't know the guy is.
Yeah, so I just recognized him. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but it was just cool. You know, we're on the boat with this NBA player. We were sitting in front of John Stamos. We saw John Stamos and Tony Baxter and Alan Menken walk out of Club 33, all within like an hour and a half, and it's like unforgettable.
Nice. That's a great story and memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's the expanded story from
The
Jacobs.
expanded, the special edition.
Now we know the full.
Yeah.
And there's been so many memories, you know.
Of course.
And like so many people mentioned, the next great memory will be the next time.
Mm-hmm. And that is true. I think that's very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Jose and Marcy both said that, and it's very, very accurate. All right. So you guys covered Halloween on your show, yeah?
Yeah. We have, like in past years, this year we went a little different. We went more scary movies.
Scary movies.
Like Del Toro and Burton and...
Okay. Well, what can you tell us about Halloween in the parks?
I love it.
You love it? Is there anything in particular that you like?
Just the ambiance. The first time I went, and this was the only time I've been to a Halloween party, but was in 2010. Mm-hmm. And so all the times I've been either Disneyland in the summertime or Christmas. So of course we love the Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
But when we went for Halloween the first time, this is the first time I saw the giant Main Street pumpkin. Mm-hmm. All the pumpkins.
Yeah.
We were there for the Halloween, Mickey's Halloween party or whatever it's called.
The not so scary Halloween party. Yeah.
And just the trick-or-treating, the extra decorations, the scarecrows that were there. Mm-hmm. The Halloween Screams fireworks show, which in my opinion is my second all-time favorite.
Which is going to lead me to ask, what's your first?
Remember, the 50th anniversary fireworks.
Oh, yeah. But, is that with Julie Andrews? And
yeah.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. She does the voice narration. Yeah, okay.
So it was the Wishes, it's from Disney World. It was Wishes, and they turned it around for Disneyland. So it was the perfect ending to a day at Disneyland because you go through the park throughout the fireworks show. But yeah, just seeing all the decorations and everything. And then I haven't done a Halloween party since, but once they added the Oogie Boogies Halloween to DCA, like I mentioned before, one of my favorite areas in the whole resort is like Carthay Circle, Buena Vista Street area.
Oh yeah,
and the decorations there for Halloween, especially at night.
Oh my gosh, right?
With the lighting,
the purple lighting.
The purple lighting. I like how it's so like Disneyland is orange.
Yeah,
it's orange and black. It's traditional, and DCA is purple, green. You know,
it totally is,
the Headless Horseman statue.
Yeah,
Cars Land's Halloween layover. I mean, overlay. I was
overlay. Yeah.
Did you go last year to that, or did you say no?
No, Ryan, my co-host, he went to the Halloween party and he said it was awesome.
Yeah, because the one where they used that Redwood Creek trail, holy cow, that thing looked awesome.
Yeah, I saw videos, and I'm sure the videos didn't do it justice being there. So I was really hoping to do it this year, but 2020.
Yeah, well, 2021 we'll do it next year. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna read a little thing from Jim Corkus regarding the Haunted Mansion holiday. One of the things I always get asked is what Walt Disney might have thought of some change at Disneyland, even though he had proclaimed that it was not a museum but would constantly be changing. We do know that he wanted a haunted house at Disneyland and that he loved Christmas, so in all likelihood he probably would have liked the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay to the Haunted Mansion. When Walt Disney conceived of building an amusement venue, the concept of a haunted house was always part of the dream. It would have been an attraction where it was always Halloween 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where spirits would gather in perpetual darkness. Certainly, haunted dark rides were popular in trolley parks and later amusement parks. The iconic haunted pretzel because the ride track twisted back and forth like the shape of a pretzel. Was built in 1927 for Bushkill Park in Pennsylvania. It features scary heads popping up from the floor, a hallway of doors hiding who knows what, a body trying to get out of a coffin, and more very similar experiences to what was the original Haunted Mansion. For an early Disneyland concept drawing, Walt had imaginer Harper Goff do a sketch of a dilapidated old house on the top of a small hill overlooking a church and a graveyard on a side street near the end of Main Street, USA, just before the hub. Guests would have pressed their faces against the large windows to see the ghostly activity inside. When the Haunted Mansion holiday debuted, the Disney press proclaimed, Pumpkin King Jack Skellington has been busy decorating the Haunted Mansion with frightfully festive touches inspired by Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Experience some of your favorite sights, special seasonal surprises, and characters from the from the movie. Sally, Oogie Boogie, and other nightmare nasties will be on hand to wish you a season's screamings. With the ongoing popularity of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas from 1993, Disney looked at possible ways to integrate Burton's vision into the Disney theme park experience. In 1996, Imagineer Chris Merritt submitted a proposal for a traditional dark ride that was inspired by Nightmare. Visitors would enter through the tree portal Halloween Town and board a coffin sleigh for a trip that would take them through the land of Halloween into the professor's laboratory and through Oogie Boogie's lair, resulting in a whirlwind trip through a familiar snow-covered graveyard where Jack finally gets his girl before the sleighs return to the world of the living. While the concept never got off the drawing board, another one about combining the Haunted Mansion attraction with an overlay of elements from Nightmare film took almost 3 years to get approval. The original concept had been to theme the iconic mansion to Dickens' Christmas Carol and its Halloween ghost, but the idea of using Nightmare supplanted it because it could be used for both Halloween and Christmas because it represents a time where the two holidays collide. On October 3, 2001, Haunted Mansion Holiday opened and quickly became popular with many guests. The storyline is that this experience takes place after the events of the film. Jack Skellington discovers the home of Happy Hans, and to spread some holiday joy, he shares some of his original Dark Christmas present decorations. The gingerbread house on the table of the grand ballroom is real and different every year. It takes roughly 150 pounds of gingerbread and a dozen bakers working at the Central Bakery across the street from the park to make it. 2001, Garner Holt Productions produced over 24 audio animatronics, including Jack Skellington, for the overlay that has been running nearly 20 years. GHP, Garner Holt Productions, was the first outside vendor to provide audio animatronics for Disney. All right. So, he says, guests don't realize that 90% of what you see of that overlay is actually stored inside the ride during the rest of the year. Anyways, yeah. So that's a quick little story of Jim Corkis. Actually, he would have gone on for a lot more if he was on the show.
Yep.
And we did have him on. We may have to have him back on again.
We do.
Yeah. So that's interesting about the Haunted Mansion. I didn't know about the Christmas version of it before or Chris Merritt's version of it. Both sound really, really cool. But
yeah.
What do you guys think about that Haunted Mansion overlay? Better than original?
The one we have. You can't. I mean, I think you're comparing apples and oranges right there when you do that. Both of them have their own feel and uniqueness that even though we're looking at very similar, I mean, we're looking at the same thing, but yeah, the feel changes. Now, if you ask me which one is my favorite, that becomes a little bit more difficult. And
Udi, which one is your favorite?
Okay, my favorite.
It wasn't that difficult to ask.
I'm like, damn, I'm setting myself up. But anyway,
yeah.
My favorite, and I know why, would be the overlay, the holiday overlay we have. Mm-hmm. Like it from original, and some people purists would be like, what? Blasphemy. The reason, though, is because, and I've explained it on the show before, growing up, we didn't go into the haunted house. Or we went and it was like, because of my conservative religious upbringing, you don't mess with the dark side.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, so we would ride. I was more afraid when I was younger, growing up, going on that ride, and kind of a thing of like, I'm afraid of it, and I'm going to go and challenge myself.
Yeah.
But but because of that, I don't think I ever got like a real appreciation until now later. But when I got that real appreciation for Haunted was during the overlay.
Okay.
So those two things associated in my brain, like the real appreciation of the attraction and everything it brings you, but it was at that time of the year where I had that overlay. So because of that, like, I feel better, or I connect better with it, is a better way to put it. I connect better with the attraction during the holiday overlay because of that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Good answer right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that I really miss the parks in general, but like now, historically, I've gone down in the fall and just gotten part of this. I mean, the food is different, and the decorations are different, the popcorn buckets are different, and everyone has that sense of excitement. I mean, normally they do anyways, but everyone's got that sense of excitement of something in the air, and the weather shifts. Of course, you wouldn't know it now because the weather's still flipping warm. But typically, cools off at night, and the lights are different, and it's a little more spooky. And it's just, man, it's one of those things. And I remember when they first started doing this Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it was like $25 more or whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll just do it. We don't know what's going on. But it's so fun. But now it's like it's over $100 now, right?
Like 120.
Yeah,
Like
I think it was 125.
Oh,
Yeah.
That number clicks off in my head for whatever reason. Yeah.
But the Halloween party is so much fun, and you don't have to have kids to do it. It's such a cool vibe out there. And when they were going to bring it back to DCA, I was like, okay, it's going to not be so good. But man, as Joey said, DCA, they bring the heat, man. It is so, but I did not get a chance to see it last year, but I saw it the year before. It is so awesome over there. I still think Haunted Mansion and New Orleans Square lends itself to Halloween-esque type things.
Yeah.
But DCA, I mean, they do such a great job over there. I'd like to talk to Sam Carter about that because I'm sure he probably has some thoughts about what it took to get decorations.
That would be a good, fun discussion.
And they still got room for expansion for Halloween overlays in DCA.
Do tell, like where?
Well,
Yeah, go for it. My mind went like, I know where.
Well, one of the big
Oh, you do?
so one of the big things of Disneyland is when they had the party there was the Halloween Screams.
Yeah.
So naturally, World of Color. They were supposed, from what I heard, when 2 years ago or whatever, they were supposed to have a villain version of World of Color.
Okay.
And so I still think there's plenty of room for that.
Okay.
An attraction, Toy Story Mania. Because one thing's when Toy Story Mania, when it first started, is like, all this is computerly done. So we can do Christmas overlays, Valentine's overlays, Halloween games, Christmas games.
Yeah.
So you could do all the games will be different, different style Halloween carnival games inside Midway Mania. And you can even change the Mr. Potato Head animatronic where he's dressed like Dracula or something.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
So World of Color, definitely Midway Mania. And of course, I mean, the Monsters Inc. area. I mean,
Okay.
the lens for, they could do like how they did Mad Tea Party and Electronica. Just have, I think they actually do. It was like, it might have been based off The Descendants, the Disney Channel.
Oh, okay.
show,
Yeah.
Which, I'm not much into it, but if it's part of the season, I'm all for it. So,
Okay.
So yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm like, yeah, there. I mean, and then you could also, if you really want to, you could expand into the Grizzly Peak area. I mean, that trail, you can make it more spooky. I mean, there are things you can do throughout the entirety of the park. The one benefit of DCA is the theming is there, but not as rigid, I think, as Disneyland. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, for me, if I'm seeing a bunch of like out of control Halloween decoration throughout the Disneyland, I'm be like, time out.
Oh, and now I see what you mean by rigid. Yeah.
But I mean, but in DCA, we'd be like, okay, we don't put DCA in the same pedestal and level of Disneyland. So I'm not going to get freaked out if I'm walking through. I'm like, oh look, it isn't Grizzly Peak, it's like Werewolf Peak or whatever. I mean, you could do whatever you want, or you could do it like, how many stories you can do?
Yeah, and you can add fog effects. You can add lighting. You can add howling.
Yeah.
I mean, just like little stuff like atmosphere stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not to make it like overtly like over the top freaky, but enough to be like, okay, Halloween time.
Yeah.
And you can do that. I mean, you can go to the. I mean, you can do it throughout the park if you really, really want to. You can go the entire thing and put some kind of overlay and feel for it. And I was thinking Monsters Inc. right away. I'm like, dude, the only thing you couldn't really do, like attraction wise, I mean, you could even do a Hollywood, maybe do a scary version of Incredicoaster.
Yeah,
you could.
Yeah,
a monster. You could change a few things here, audio.
The Underminer.
Yeah, I mean, you could do, a few things, or then, the only one I think you can't would be Soarin'. I would be like, you'd have to do a whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think other than that, yeah.
It'd be like the Soarin' Bat Flight or something.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Goofy like that.
All at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I was thinking with Monsters, Inc., I mean, not necessarily the attraction, because there's not too much you could do, but like that whole area with the facade, and like do a little dance party, and it'd be the Monsters University, college Halloween rave or something.
Oh, yeah,
like
Halloween
that,
rave. Yep. Right on. There's some good ideas about that. I didn't even think about that for DC. I mean, from what I've seen and my experience is that it's incredible. I mean, and Cars Land is just like there's so many like tongue-in-cheek references there. It's like, oh, you guys are pretty clever with this stuff. That place is something else. You guys, we've talked about the Halloween tree before, yeah.
Yeah, we have a picture.
Yeah, a house in front of it. Yeah, but you know about that, right? The Halloween tree, the Ray Bradbury in Frontierland.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So LTB listeners, next year when everything's fine and well, go out and check that thing out. That's really awesome.
Yeah, tell them where it is. That way you can go find it, because a lot of people will go walk right past it, never knowing what they're walking by.
Oh yeah, it's I think it's an oak tree. A stately oak tree. I can look at that real quick. It's in Frontierland, of course, and it is just it is in between Pioneer Mercantile and the Golden Horseshoe, right along the boardwalk there. But it's actually not on the boardwalk; it's right in the middle there, and it is orange with jack-o'-lanterns. And it's just it is something that it's beautiful at night. And don't overlook it. I mean, but do look at it and take pictures. I don't know what tree it is, but I think it actually is a stately oak is the actual species of that tree. 'Cause that's what I remember talking about. But yeah, and I think they change it up every year as far as the decorations, but it's there and it's right. And then you know what? Here's the LTP pro tip: after you're sitting there looking at it, just walk 40 feet behind it or in front of it, and you're going to be over to Rancho, and then that's probably where you're going to find Udi and I.
Yep.
Yeah.
We will be eating.
Yeah. Are you ever going to order something else besides those enchiladas?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Didn't you get the burrito, or was that Patrick?
Patrick.
Okay.
That would be the only one, because you get everything. I'm like, if I get a Zocalo,
Yeah.
Maybe that one may bring me off of the 3 cheese enchilada.
Yeah. And, about the food. So again, around this time of year, there's always something odd that they add at different locations, and they may not advertise it. But remember, once you tell them about the that mint julep you got.
Oh, I can't remember the flavor.
And this made Jeff Bam upset too, because he didn't know about this. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I got the holiday or the Halloween inspired one that had they had I believe it was like an onion that is one of being cut up into it looks like an eyeball in your mint julep. It is really good, and it was.
That doesn't sound good at all.
No, it looks really, and I haven't been able to find a picture of it. I think it's in one of my old phones, and I can't where's a picture of it?
I don't know why. I was there.
Yeah, you were right next to me when I was drinking it. I'm like, ooh, this is good. Check it out. Look at it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's cool.
Well, no, because you disappeared, and then which is what he does this. He disappears and re-emerges, and he has food or something with him. And what is this? And was it purple, like a lavender color or something?
Lavender.
What's this?
Yeah.
What's Hoop-Dee-Doo?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, I just got this. And I forget what it was called.
I can't remember either. That's what makes me mad.
Okay, we'll keep talking. I'll keep looking real quick.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, and that is one of those things that is a touch that they could do a bit more of that, for a food item. But it was good, and I enjoyed it, and I can't wait. One day I'll come back, and I'm pretty sure they'll have it again because if people don't know, they will make a different holiday depending on what version of a mint julep.
Well, yeah, because Christmas, you had the cranberry one with Corey.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruiser. Sorry.
Jungle Cruiser.
Well, Jungle Cruiser, yeah.
But yeah, and I had that, and then that's when I had the beignets. And who got peppermint beignets? I remember going,
that was me.
Okay, you got
for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm like, I remember that. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, and that is something in Hollywood would be kind of cool if they did a few more of that. I mean, I don't know what. I'm not a foodie. We all know that. But I think that would be fun. More fun.
You're like, I know what I like, and that's what I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I find my wheelhouse, and I kind of stay right there. I'm not. I mean, I know what I don't like. I know what I don't like. But yeah, I can't think of anything else in the park. I mean, again, nothing. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what else.
Oh,
what else they do? Yes.
You found it? It was the Midnight Julep.
Okay.
And it was blackberry, citrus, and mint with I don't know what the word is. Lychee, lychee moon. Isn't that what it looked like? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So show Joey that. There's like a floating eyeball in there.
Yeah,
that was an onion?
Yeah, or whatever. I think. I don't know. I didn't eat it.
Well, okay.
I didn't eat it. So I've got no idea. I looked at it going, that's cool. And then I kept on drinking my mint julep.
For $4.49. That's a deal.
What a deal.
Yeah,
that's
the blackberry.
That's a Mark deal.
I know. That precedes me. And believe me, but I'm gonna loosen up the next time. So you watch out.
But an onion in a drink?
I might spend $4.79 on drink. No, I don't really have rules at that park. In general, I do, but not there.
My one rule is no rules.
Yeah, and I actually need to adhere to that. It's just that I don't know. Usually, I'm paying for 3 or 4 different people.
Oh yeah,
so that part's kind of different. But kids are older now, so hopefully, yeah.
Sorry, I was just thinking. I just was flashing back to Haunted Mansion Holiday, which when you mentioned that they were thinking about doing the Dickens.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been really. That could be pretty interesting, but Nightmare just blends perfectly with a mansion.
It totally does.
But I was just thinking, one thing I wish that they still had. Well, there's 2 things in the queue. They used to have creepy Christmas carols when you waited outside.
Yeah,
and they had it on. It's actually on the CD. And there's just like a...
You remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
It's basically like Lock, Shock, and Barrel singing.
Yeah.
Like, Oh, Scary Night. You know, just like Halloween-style Christmas songs. And it was in the queue. It was really cool.
I don't recollect this at all, but I love it.
But the year Frankenweenie came out, they had a little special... when you walk on the queue and you pass the little pet cemetery, they had Sparky's grave that was dug out. And
yeah.
Yeah, and I wish they would still have that. I wish they would still do that.
Yeah.
But I love Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Yep.
And it's always that debate, which would you get rid of it? But if they had their own dark ride, but it's already a perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect overlay.
Yeah.
Nearly a perfect or on a perfect attraction.
Yeah.
So.
And that is a very interesting point. You can't. I don't think you if you do a whole Nightmare Before Christmas attraction doesn't play.
Yeah,
I don't think it plays.
And I even think bringing it out in September and October, first world problems. It's a little early because the attraction is strictly. I mean, you can say it's Halloween and Christmas. It's mostly a Christmas attraction, but I get it. I mean, it's a good way to stretch it. But you go in October, and you're so excited to see it. Then if you go again, like I said, first world problems, go again in December. Oh man, it's still holiday. Sometimes, very rarely, but
I think if they did it, because haunted lends itself to Halloween anyway. I mean, we're talking about a haunted mansion.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
But I think it would be cool. I would be okay if they dropped it back and did it like November 1. But the only problem is we have that 2-week shutdown.
Exactly.
For the overlay.
Yeah.
So how do you time that out? You know, because that would be great if they could be like, and we're going to have it for Halloween, and then boom, next day we're at Nightmare. Can't do it. But I get what you're saying. I get it. Like you have to do it in that manner, logistically.
Well, then
you can't get around it.
And another overlay. What do you guys think about Ghost Galaxy?
I'm fine with it.
Yep, I'm fine with it too.
I've heard people not, but I don't care.
No, I'm not.
To be honest, it doesn't. It neither adds or subtracts for me.
Yeah.
On that attraction.
It's just fun with the holiday.
Yeah, because I don't know what the hell's going on inside Space Mountain. I'm just screaming into the darkness.
Yep. looking at a giant cookie.
A giant cookie. Yeah, and I'm laughing but
I just need a big glass of milk.
Yeah.
Another thing I wish they did more again. They did this for years and they stopped doing it. But the projection on Space Mountain at night. They used to do the more projection mapping during Ghost Galaxy, and I wish they would do that.
You're right. Yep, absolutely.
It was really cool. They had the screaming and like lightning, or one that was like green, but then it made it look like a disease because it was like turning black, and that stuff was super cool.
That being said, and I don't want to be sacrilegious here, but I mean they could do some really killer projection mapping on the Matterhorn, make it like a green, or even not even projection mapping. They could put lights. Green glowing or purple glowing up there. How cool would that be to ride that thing at night with those? It's crazy. Or, as I remember when they're doing the projection mapping during the 50th, I think was it the 50th they were doing that at the park, or was that the 60th? That was making it the 60th. Right?
Oh, they made it look like
the volcano.
Mount Wanahakalugi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the 60th or 50th?
It was in between, I think.
Okay. Oh, so okay, we'll say the 50th.
Or maybe it might have been the 60th.
But you know what I'm talking about. They could do whatever they want with that thing, and that would be awesome to ride that thing at night like that. I'd be like, this is cool. But yeah, there's tons of stuff. I mean, Jungle Cruise could be even scary at night.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, they could throw something in there, and maybe more of those lights. I mean, those eyes we were talking about on Mandalorian. Yeah,
it's like cheap effects. You add fog and lights, and you just have them not pull up the spotlight as much.
Yeah. Totally right. Yeah, there's a lot of attractions they could do. Nothing in Galaxy's Edge, right?
Nope. Don't.
They do not celebrate that.
The only thing they can, and we talked about it before, and it's the day.
Life Day.
Life Day.
For Christmas.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I think they were supposed to do something this year.
They were. The rumor was floating around, remember?
Yep.
Life Day, and I remember do it.
As long as Chewie's wearing his robe.
Yep.
Would you go to that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because it fits the theme. Everything has to be like we've said thematically. That's why Disneyland very rigid thematically. DCA, go for it.
Yeah, a little looser over there.
Yeah,
a little looser. And Downtown Disney could use some of that love too. Maybe.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to think of anything else we could see if they could throw out there. I don't know. Let me just sort of. Our armchair imagineering, which is fine.
Yeah, the going joke we have on the Mando shows that they don't give us what we want. We're not going to go anymore. We're not going to watch anymore. So
really?
We're going to talk about it on our blog.
Yeah. We're going to do the same for the Disneyland park. If they don't do that overlay exactly how I want it, I'm never going again. Boycott.
I would like to see, I was just thinking about it, I would like to see... going back to the projection mapping, because there's so much you could do with it, and especially down Main Street, but just have projection mapping, but like where the lonesome ghosts are just going all over the park.
Oh, Brand Emily?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Along the old Lonesome Ghost cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And that would be sweet. You see them in Main Street. You see them, in Frontierland, you just see them against buildings all over the park. I think that'd be sweet. So
For sure, yeah. Darn it. Do you collect any of the Halloween buckets for popcorn?
I have an Oogie Boogie.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
That's the only one I have. Going back to Jacob, he has like I say, he's like ultimate collector. He has the Mickey pumpkin head from a couple years ago.
Oh, we've got that one here somewhere. That one?
No, it looks like an actual like a pumpkin.
Oh, like a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So-
cool. I don't remember seeing that one, but
Yeah, it's from a couple years ago.
okay.
But no, yeah, I didn't really get any of those. Just the Oogie.
Okay.
That we found out glowed in the dark. Glue in the dark.
Glue. Okay, right on. Well, Halloween is coming on, and so we're gonna move on to different things now. Christmas is coming up, and we assume the park's going to be closed, unfortunately. But maybe we'll get some small doses of magic where we can go in. And how cool would that be if we can just go down there for a day and walk around?
Holiday miracle.
Oh, you guys see that meme with going back to Halloween? It's Jack Skellington. It says October 31st, and it's a picture of Jack Skellington. Then November 1st, and it's him dressed as Santa Claus. So
Oh,
it's like,
jeez. Yeah. I didn't see that one, but cool. Right on. Okay, so I know we didn't go into depth as other podcasts do, but that's fine.
We're having fun.
We're having fun, and we're having a really good discussion, and hopefully this brought some entertainment to you guys out there, guys and girls out there. Maybe you're doing some of your own reminiscing, which is really what this is about, and connecting with you guys. Future episodes, we're probably going to have, I don't know who we're going to have on, Mike. I think Mike, Disney Magic. No, not Disney Magic. He was Michael Disney, right? Okay.
Disney with a Z.
Yeah, with a Z. Yeah, that guy's a bundle of energy, man.
Yeah, and then we have a couple of Patreons that need to be on.
We do. Yes. At least 3 or 4 that I can think of.
We have quite a few. And you guys are lagging. We love you, but come on now. If you don't want to be on, we will do whatever we can to help you, because we all recognize that sometimes people have an aversion or feel like, I don't want to hear my voice. I get it.
Yeah.
But believe you me, you'll get over it. And yeah, come on and have fun and talk.
The water's warm.
Yeah, the water is warm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try to have some other guests on the show too, because like I said, there's nothing really new to talk about. I know we got to revisit the food again. Actually, something we probably will do, because we talked to Marcus last time about he's never been into Galaxy's Edge, and
we have to talk about it.
Huh?
The food
at Galaxy's Edge needs to be discussed, because it's no joke. It's real stuff.
And very, very good.
It is intergalactic goodness.
Very good. Like, beyond what I thought. They don't play.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Udi's food guide to the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, the foodie guy.
I need my own Ronto farm so I can make my own wraps.
God, those are good, man. Much better than I thought.
Yeah, those are kind of going back when Ryan was there first. He's like, dude, they're like $12. I'm like, I'm not paying $12 for a hot dog taco. Then I get one.
Okay, you sound like
and I'm
me.
like, this was all right. Can I get another? I was like, Thor, another.
Oh no, I was doing the same thing. Yeah, I was like, this is. Really
And I haven't even tried the breakfast one yet, which I heard is really good.
I had a part of who?
It wasn't me. That's what we ordered.
Oh,
Was it Jess? Maybe I had part of Jess's. Yeah, it was good.
We ordered, waited in line, we got a number, and by the time we got them, they ran out of them. I go, well, what is this one? Oh, this is the regular one. I go, but this isn't the one I wanted. Well, this is one we have. And I go, oh, great. So, but anyways, it was so good. It was so good. But we'll talk about that with the Galaxy's Edge stuff, because I know Marcus wants a little guide for that. We will provide such a food guide for him.
We can help.
Yeah. All right. We hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying healthy, staying positive, because we will get the park soon back. And it's going to be better than ever. I should say, we don't know what's happening with APs yet. Has not been. It's looking bleak, right? Kind of bleak. Like they're going to cancel the APs for now, and then maybe just relaunch everything when stuff happens. Yeah, is that what you're hearing?
That's what I'm just kind of putting,
Yeah.
a B and A and B, however you say it, I can't even think right now. But it doesn't make sense when they're having they're going to have a 20, we're just going to say 25% capacity, while they can fill that with APs easily. Yeah. And they can fill that with locals easily. So sadly, it makes sense for Disneyland to phase out the APs and just have everybody general tickets
for now,
for hopefully a very temporary time. But I mean, you could show so many different podcasts talk about it, but there's such a different animal between APs in Florida to APs in California.
Yeah, completely.
And I get a little annoyed when they try to conflate the two. I'm like, it is different. I mean, we don't sit here and think like, oh well, and over Florida. I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's when I get kind of like irritated. Like, don't try to make my park like Florida.
Right.
We are the heritage, man. We are.
To make everybody have the equal chance to get into the parks, they're going to have to phase out the APs for, like I said, a temporary time. In my opinion, I don't like saying that.
I hope
being an AP.
I hope they freeze it. Like, not like phase out to me is like they're going to go away.
No,
like,
they won't.
Yeah, like freeze. Like, boom.
And hopefully, like you're paying for a general ticket to the park. That's cool, but use your annual pass to get a discount on food. If they can still do that, I mean.
Oh, for now, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's little, it's petty, but I mean, it's a little reward.
Yeah, and this is where it's a whole other topic of what they're going to do when they finally open. Yeah.
But no, I think they will freeze these and bring it back when the park is a much bigger capacity. I hope that they keep the same price point as we agreed upon before, which I don't think they will. But because the Flex Pass was the absolute best thing for me, for me personally. I don't know what you had, but
for me, the best deal you can make.
No, just when I heard about it, I'm like, that makes so much sense for somebody that has to actually make an effort and travel.
Yeah.
More than 4 to 5 hours.
Yep.
It's a perfect pass for
sure.
And we talked to Corey a couple of times. He's like, I'm the same amount of hours away, but just because I'm in Arizona, I can't get it. But
he's got a point.
I think you can get it. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's a great pass for anybody in the Bay Area, Northern California.
Yeah. What I know this is going to end the show because we're off topic here, but what perk would you like them to add to, if they were to add a perk for you? Say, hey, you know what? 2020 was hard for all of us. We appreciate you as one of our most valued customers as a pass holder. So when would you like to renew for 2021? You can select from this choice of add-ons for World Compy. What would you think?
Oh, easy. Max Pass.
Mm-hmm. Max Pass?
Easy. We're talking about it with our friend Alex, and you get just being able to reserve without having to physically go to the kiosk and scan it. Back in the day. And so many people forget, though, you also get free photo passes on attractions, photo pass photographers in front of castles and stuff. So, hands down, Max Pass.
What if they said, okay, because you know how they have like the 5 or 6 different themed nights, like Star Wars night or Back to the 80s night. If they said you want to pick one of those as one of the things.
It would depend what night it would. Like,
for Mandalorian night.
Can I dress like Tiny?
Beer night, beer night for you.
Oh, geez.
No, I'm joking.
DCA Brewfest, I'm there.
No, I'm serious. I mean, if there was a theme night that actually, would you trade that for Max Pass?
No.
Jungle Cruise theme night.
I would still take Max Pass, but if they had the proper theme night, I would pay for it still.
Okay, understood. Understood. Udi, how about you? Max Pass. Okay.
Yep.
Not free parking?
Nope, not any other thing you could probably offer would take.
What about a commemorative coin?
Nope.
Okay.
Possibly a tiki mug.
Nope. Not for me. Nope.
Oh, meal voucher?
Nope. Nope. The ability to get a Max Pass, it lets you enjoy more of the park. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
That was one of the greatest things that they've offered.
I agree.
in years.
Whoever came up with that, thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. You guys are right. I'm just trying to be funny about it, but hopefully we'll see. We just hope that they'll come back into some, or there will be APs, but what they look like we don't know. I just hope that they allow us to buy them at the same price. But
my final thought, because we're on it,
Yeah.
If Disney is smart, which they haven't been, they will take the existing. They would be beneficial to add a perk and leave everything like it was and just add. Don't manipulate. Don't try to. We got to revamp all of it. No. No. I think we had that talk. Like, I think the APs are at a point where they're kind of in a nice, like at a nice groove for everybody. Like you could get a good flow for everybody. Don't mess with it.
Right.
Let it be. Bring it right back in and go, okay, but because of everything, as a thank you here, you'll get that. Or you'll get that. And then leave it there. Don't raise the price. If anything, they got to go in, and I've said it before, you got to go in the opposite direction. Drop them.
Oh, we'll see.
Find out.
You're right. Disney will have the money. They will come back in droves, and they know that. That being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight, listeners, and today, this afternoon, evening, wherever it is you're listening to us. Again, if you like this show, feel free to, if you are so obliged, feel free to contribute via Patreon, $1, $3, or $5. It goes a long way with us, and you're part of the LTP family. And also, if you're so inclined, please leave us a review on Apple iTunes. It helps out with the algorithm. And consider supporting us via our T-shirts. Thank you again, Joey, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Anytime, sir.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure for us, too. Where can people find out more information about you?
5 Show Joe.
5 Show Joe.
They can check us out on Disney Universe podcast, Tiki Cast, which is a spinoff, which I haven't had an episode in 2 months because not much Tiki stuff going on, but it's okay. Of course, on the Mando Show with this guy in front of me, Udi, and part of the Yellow Board. And all these shows are part of the Disney podcast family. So it's a nice site, and you guys are included, and it's a nice family. And I was telling Jungle Cruiser, Corey, that it's a perfect time. You know, we talk about Disney, you know, with each other, and it's our fix. But then, I mean, you guys saw the proof of it on your last episode, and you know, we've gotten a lot of comments, you know, on our recent episodes. But you know, we're people's Disney getaway during this rough time. So, you know, to have a network of different shows, you know, different theme shows is you know, as a podcast listener, you know, myself, it's nice to have variety.
Yep.
So, you know, it's fun.
For sure. Do we need to do a proper Jungle Cruise game for the Tiki Cast with your special drinks?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, because I know we didn't do that, the proper version. Because you've got that tiki bar and everything. We need to go out there and do that.
I was there last night.
You were thinking about last night? Oh, okay. All right. Well said, Joey.
Yep.
So for more witty banter, Udi, where can people find about you?
You can find me on all of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. And then you can find me, as Joe mentioned, on The Mando Show. We recorded this morning.
What'd you guys even talk about this morning?
We talked about season 1.
New stuff.
Or season 2, episode 1, chapter 9, which we all sat down and watched before recording.
Yes.
And that is what we talked about. And yeah, go check it out if you guys want. For guys geeking about Star Wars and The Mandalorian in particular, there you go.
Yeah. And not to go on a tangent because we won't, but Mandalorian is so good. And there's so much potential for season 2. And I'm so stoked that we get to talk about, you guys can talk about this and we get to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, we love talking about is, you know, there's so many Star Wars podcasts, and some of them, they have a Mandalorian branch out, you know, like a sideshow or... But we are strictly...
I totally have this really bad one in my head. I'm like, okay, I won't say it. We're not going to do that.
But we are strictly Mandalorian themed that also talks about Star Wars on the back burner. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, we flip the script of what a lot of people are doing. Like we focus Mandalorian and then we bring in Star Wars as opposed to they focus on Star Wars and bring in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Subtle, but big difference. And we have our own Mandalorian. So what up?
What up? Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. All right. And so to contact the Leaving Today Podcast, and email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com or check us out on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. episode 121 will be coming up next. Hopefully you'll have a guest on that. And one last thing, by the time this this show airs, there could be some differences going on in America. But we're all together here as a family. We love you all, and we are going to get through whatever we need to get through together.
Yep.
And I look forward to meeting you guys and girls, whenever we can get down there to the parks. Thank you so much for listening to us. It means everything to us, and I'm just so beyond thrilled that we have listeners and we get to meet cool people like Joey and get to hang out with us. All this family of people that we get to meet, like Marcus and Seth and Jacob, and both Jacobs, NorCal and SoCal Jacob, and Fernando. I've not met you, but you guys have.
What are we? The podcast deals?
Yeah. We're the podcast deals.
Okay.
Uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we definitely appreciate you guys all out there, and thank you so much for listening. Adventure is out there. See you in the parks.
See you.
Squirrel.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now in its normal operating day. We hope you enjoy your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
It'll take me a second before I get there. I set myself up for that, and I'm recording, so it's all going in there.
Oh yeah, you want to try it? Try it.
Let me get this horseradish
Okay.
out of my mouth first.
Okay.
Somebody take these. How many of these?
Mark.
No.
They're going in the trash.
Mark.
My body's just stiff.
We'll give it a bit.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay. Woo. Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hit it and quit it.
Bam! Oh, what?
My mouth hurts.
And every time I look at it, it makes me cry a little bit on the inside. It really does.
You are out of control. I didn't make those drinks strong enough, but you guys are lagging because I already finished and I'm on my White Claw. Don't you even. You keep your hands off my Reese's. Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.